It's Wednesday, November 18th, 8:10 a.m. Cemetery Trustees meeting. Terry Driscoll present, Jed Dolan, Joe Ridden, Jim Coyne, Lisa Hearn, Superintendent, and calling in is Steve Pender. First on the agenda, we have approval of the minutes from October 7th. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Second, we have the consent agenda, which consists of the town occupant list and the banking statements. Are there any discussion on either of those? If not, a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Third, we have correspondence. We got a letter from Lalonde family.
Yes. We have a letter about somebody who's concerned about a large tree growing behind their headstone. She wants it completely removed and ground, and it'd be a big job. We should go out and look at it, and then probably reconvene to discuss it next time.
Is it ailing?
It's not ailing, that's the thing. Will it keep growing? Yes. Are there hundreds of trees around the property that will keep growing behind headstones? Yes. We usually, when it becomes problematic, reset the headstone. It can get pushed forward or pushed up or whatever. But we are an arboretum, so and this person maintains the tree was not there when her parents bought the lot. I tend to think that's not true. I'm sure it was.
She actually says in her letter that she's upset this tree was placed. Right?
Yeah, sorry, Steve, can you mute? Because we're hearing everything in the background.
Can it be
Thank you
remedied
for the
by
reminder.
digging up and resetting it, applying a new foundation and resetting it, or no?
So generally, the tree is going to get bigger.
Yeah.
The tree is going to get very large.
And the roots are going to come up.
Yeah, and generally we would go in and remedy that and cut that portion of the stump and root away and let the rest of the tree grow. Not really great for the tree, but
Better than tearing it down.
better than tearing it down.
Did we place it there
It's
as
costly.
she suggests?
Yeah.
Suggesting? Oh, we did. Okay.
But no,
At some point, but I
But
mean,
not
this
before.
tree is at least 30 years
Well, it
old.
says 1983, so.
This tree is so, maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't there when her parents bought it, and somebody wanted it there.
Right, I don't think we should.
Let's go out
Not a
and
healthy
take a
tree,
look.
not if it's healthy.
No.
It is a healthy tree.
Yeah.
Do you have to remedy? All I ever knew was when you dig a grave, if there's roots, you have to cut them to be able to
That's right.
have the burial take place. Do you remedy headstone and footings on a regular basis, or?
If it gets pushed out of place, yeah, there are a lot of smaller trees up there.
And is this
That-
getting pushed
that-
out of place yet?
Not yet. It most likely will, but then we address it when that happens. We'll cut the root. We can go in probably and cut anything that's behind that headstone now. It'd be hard, we have to pick up the headstone so that we don't damage it.
Yeah.
I would just say it's 42 years after, internment. I mean, it's a tree, and the last thing we want to do is cut healthy trees down in this arboretum.
Yeah.
Because that one person's letter, which is fine, they have a concern, but there's other people around there, and I don't know if someone else planted it or did we plant it.
Right.
But I'm not
So
taking down a healthy tree.
We reserve the right to plant trees and to remove trees.
It's not a safety issue where we have dead limbs, we have anything that's falling.
It's not a safety
tree
issue.
that's split.
It's
that
a
would lose their
potential maintenance issue.
half. Yeah, I'd be more inclined if it was a safety issue or it was dead, but not a healthy tree that, let's go out and look at it later.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, it says Milton Cemetery has always corrected anything that has been needed to keep my sister and parents' gravesite looking pristine. So this is not their first letter? Or is this something they've had issues prior to
I've
this?
not ever heard from
I'm just reading it
this
as
person.
always corrected. Anything.
Nothing on the lot card?
Might have been verbal requests through the office.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You know, maybe reseeding or something like that.
I mean, the tree's been there, again, for 42 years. I don't, if this is their first time asking about it.
Yeah, so someone suggested, why don't we table this till the next meeting? And
Yeah.
then the trustees can take a walk up there and look at it when they get a chance and see for themselves, and we can discuss at the next meeting.
That's right.
Sure. Independently.
Great.
Steve, anything?
No, that all makes sense to me. Thank you.
Next, we have superintendent's report.
Let's see. We submitted a level budget. Mr. Pender looked at it and
Thank you, Steve.
Yes.
submitted it.
You're welcome.
Everything is the same. There was only one maintenance man who went up several steps that we had to correct per his laborer's contract.
So bottom line, it's a level funded budget. So
Yes.
the general expenses stayed the exact same, and then like Lisa said, payroll went up only due to did various other people go up due to steps, or just that one person?
Just that one person. Just that one person. He's been here at least 10. He's at step 10. I think he's been here 10 years. At step 6, at 6 years, they freeze until step 10, and then they go up to step 10. And it doesn't make sense to me, but yeah.
In talking with the guys, I think all of them have maxed out that they can't
Yeah.
go any higher. They're at the highest step, so there's no increase in their salaries going forward for all of them, unless there's a cost of living adjustment. And I don't know if there is.
Okay. What were your instructions from town hall? Was it a level funded budget? Lisa, I think it was, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's across the board.
Oh yeah. That's everybody. Yep.
I just want to establish that. Okay.
Yes.
So the when we look at the department salaries where it says F27, F26, and steps, contractual obligations, comes to 821.
821.
Last year was 821 also?
No.
813, it looks like.
It was 813.
Yeah.
So to that rate.
But it was only because of that one employee? Nobody else went up because of longevity or anything else?
Well,
Okay.
longevity is
Built in.
always built in.
Right. But every year, does that go up? So if this year longevity, they got $100, next year they got 110, or?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the bottom line did go up more than just that one employee. Every employee went up some
Yes.
amount per contract.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought I heard nobody.
I don't know how much they get per
Yeah.
year for longevity.
Right. So Chad, I think there was some change.
It is,
there in the
yeah.
original salary.
So longevity
Minor.
must be
Okay.
like a cost of living type.
Yeah.
And who was the last hire? Jack Ryder? Who jumped up on an E3 to E5 or whatever the title was?
6 to 10.
6 to 10?
That's Wander. That's the one we adjusted.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
the total amount of longevity ranges from like $370 to like about $1,200. So I don't know what they were last year, but the total of them this year equals around $7,700 longevity.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
looking
that
at
was
the
my
sch-
question.
we're just looking
So
at the
that did
schedule.
go up, because just wanted to. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing they adjust is the pay
Yeah.
scale.
Got
And
it.
expenses are level funded.
Perfect.
Okay. Let's see. We lost a tree just before Veterans Day. We lost half of a large Norway spruce up near Terry Driscoll's house on Paradise Road. And Hunt had to come in and take it out, cut it up, and then they came back and took the other half down because it was compromised.
Did that
So-
damage any headstones?
No,
It's unbelievable.
It's,
That's a big tree.
we,
That was a massive.
a massive tree, and there's divine intervention
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
here that we have very little damage with headstones with these trees falling.
That's amazing.
Thank God. It falls in an area where, there weren't really any historic headstones, and they're nice, big granite headstones.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'll push them over,
Mhm.
but we can set them up again. So, let's see. I've started adding additional burial spots in Copeland Garden. If you turn to this page with this map with the red on it, these brick walkways can take. There's a brick walkway, then there's a small planting bed, and then on the outside of each planting bed we can fit in about 10 more spots
On each side.
on each side,
Nice.
and not compromise the look of the garden. So I've started doing that. On the west side here, see where it says C7? I have added stones up there, and we've got 2 or 3 spots sold along there.
And those are gonna be the same,
They're the same
stones.
size, same stones, same size, same look.
Is that a blue stone? What is
It's a
that?
24 by 24 blue
Blue
stone.
stone.
Right. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy about that because that garden is 75% sold.
Good. It's a beautiful area.
It is. People like it a lot. And let's see. We will. I'll bring it up again in a minute. There's an area that looks viable for full burials over on Maple Ave in an older section that we call the 4-acre. When Mark Chapman returns, I want his input on seeing how many burials we can fit over there. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to put some burials over there. They're 4 grave lots.
Excuse me.
What's your question?
We had, I will show you on this map here where it is, and then I can direct you to walk over there and take a look. Okay? But I do want Mark's input.
Do you have a feeling when he'll be back, or?
Not soon enough.
Yeah.
He's waiting for an MRI.
Bless you.
His doctor says he can come back on half capacity, but it's in their contract. It got put in their contract at some point that nobody comes back at half capacity.
Yeah.
And he's dying to get back to work. He's bored stiff. But he has to have an MRI before
Okay.
his doctor will give him the okay. The shoulder tear that he had, I guess it's a more serious thing than a cut and dried rotator cuff
Okay.
repair. It's a tear. It was messy and ugly, and it needs to heal 100%. We miss him. So, gutters and gas furnace are scheduled this week for yearly maintenance over at the house. The furnace guys should be coming this morning. We had to get a new water heater down in the men's lunchroom building, so they did that just last week. It will probably be about $2,000. So this is where we talk about a scattering garden. And in my report here, I know it wasn't, we want to plan a garden up in the field that is up by Bradford Road, and we can do that, but I'm wondering if it's a little far removed and if the pond isn't the ideal place for people to be able to scatter their ashes and record it and if you ask me, it's an area of outstanding beauty, and it should be a good draw for people to come in and scatter. I mean, how nice is it to be able to sit there and reflect, especially with the benches around the pond and the sunlight and the trees and the wildlife. I mean, people are sitting there all the time.
We're talking around the pond, not in the pond, correct?
In the pond.
Around the pond.
Well, I did a little
In the
research
pond.
yesterday. It talked about the weight of the ashes and how they sit and cause sediment in fresh water.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that-
and I don't want to take away from people throwing other things into the pond. So I'm not sure.
Take away from throwing out things?
What do you
or-
mean?
We have people that might just come up here and start throwing their ashes in the pond.
Yeah,
Like,
no, we don't want to encourage that.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
okay.
saying.
Oh, yeah.
But there is a big study about ashes and the weight of them
Yeah.
because they're not like biodegradable. They sound like they are, but they're weighted with the bone matter. and
It's
stuff.
bone.
They're
Yeah.
inorganic.
Yeah.
That's right, and they settle right in fresh water, and
Like
it's highly,
stone.
regulated to say you shouldn't put it in fresh water. Out in the ocean, it's enough where it's moved around. So,
Yeah, interesting.
but I'm okay with an area down there. But then if you put an area down there, who's to stop someone from walking over and Dad loved this pond.
Well, that's the thing, is that people are doing that wherever they... You can't
Yeah.
stop people from doing that.
Right.
What we're offering is a place to scatter your loved one's ashes in a dignified manner
On the land.
and be recorded in the books at the cemetery that they have been scattered here. And
memorialized
and-
on a monument.
And if they choose, they could pay a little extra money and be memorialized on the monument with a name and a date, in a kind of linear fashion, going maybe up and down a stone pillar or something like that. But not individual little memorials, no chance for leaving a rock or anything like that. It would just be a name on a monument with maybe hundreds of other names, like the Vietnam Wall, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. So if we got like a pillar or something. So
Yeah, I think
consider
that's,
that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that would engage others to be involved with the memorialization here. I think that maybe if you could do a little research on what kind of regulation you would want to have, specifically stating no placement in the water in the pond itself.
I would
land-
encourage scattering
land-based
towards the
scattering.
back of the
Land-based
pond.
scattering, yeah.
Yeah. I would encourage scattering towards the back, in a designated area. That being said, the field that's up near Bradford Road can visualize the Copeland Garden. We're going to need another Copeland Garden. I think we can do that up there.
You can go deep enough there to even though
3
they have
feet.
a culvert or whatever it's called.
There, we can go that. So when we put a cremation in, we go about 3 feet down. That field, I had them mark out the pipes that go through that field, and it's really only on one side, and down the front.
Yeah, if we could stay away from that pipe and
We stay
or
away, but there's
right
still quite a
away.
bit of real estate in that field. I think we could do cremations in that field, in ground, and then so set up an area like the Copeland Garden, but make a central garden in the middle with birch trees and a woodlandy area in the middle that could be the scattering garden. So instead of if you visualize the Copeland Garden has that pot in the middle, if we expand that footprint and put an area with like birch trees and something like the woodland garden down back at the columbarium and some plantings around the bottom, That could be the scattering area, and then you could do the in-ground burials around in the same format as the Copeland Garden up there. I think there's plenty of space to do it.
But I think
But
that,
that takes money. Do we take that money, so that's increasing burial space? Do we take that money to develop that area out of burial rights? And do we, that's considered a capital improvement, right? I have to put that on a list for approval for a capital improvement, which slows us way down. Or do I talk to the town administrator about, this is a special circumstance, it's increasing our
well, I think as a
marketable
demonstrated,
inventory and,
but there's a demonstrated need that the Copeland Garden's filling out.
right,
So I think there's a effective argument there. I don't know necessarily
do we,
if there's an argument that it's a capital improvement or it's just.
I agree that. I
or
don't
if
think
it's
so.
just adding burial
Yeah,
space?
Yeah.
it's not,
it's
you're not
expansion.
constructing any.
Expanding
It's
burial
expanding
rights.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a capital improvement.
Okay,
And you're utilizing space that we can't use for
Full
in-ground
burials.
casket burial, full burials. So I think that having this plan at the Copeland Garden, knowing that you're already at 75% capacity, and I think that starting the Bradford Road area, if you design something in the next couple of months, and came to us in the spring, and we went out there and kind of looked at it laid out, because you could start with that center
With the
area,
circle,
scatting area,
right.
and once we kind of
And
fill
then
more
build
Copeland
out.
Garden, or more people want to be in the Bradford Road area, now you can build out around that. So I think that that can be a project that goes on. It doesn't have to be a capital expense, because you're filling up, you're developing a scattering area, and you're going to develop up around it as we go forward.
mm-hmm,
So I think that because we have time, if we start to slowly work on it over time, then you won't have significant capital expense.
okay.
I think.
Oh, I agree.
We'd have to get a couple of granite pillars or something to engrave names on for scattering, you know, like the
Yeah.
entrance to the garden, but I could check cost of that out. That would go under burial rights, I guess.
Because you're working on developing a newer section with not significant expense of land clearing and putting in liners ahead of time, foundations ahead of time.
Now, remember when I called Forest Hills and asked them what they charged and where they put their money for a scattering garden? They didn't put it into burial rights. But that doesn't, we would want to put it into burial rights. That's how we're gonna benefit from them. We need to collect that money and put it towards,
And it is a burial.
I agree with Jed. I think that you are, as part of it, you're purchasing the right to be scattered.
you're
there.
purchasing
And
the
then you
right
have
to
the
be disposed
operation.
of, right?
The operational piece is a different fee. I mean, you could put it together, I suppose,
Right.
but I think they're
Right.
separate, so that.
Forest Hills considered it a service.
I disagree.
Mhm.
Because particularly because you're being recorded in the.
You're right,
I'm like, some cemeteries now are charging like overcapacity fees that I would think go to burial rights, but I think this would be along the same lines. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know where it goes. I'm only privy to what we do here, but a lot of them are, they're set up as nonprofits, so they're structurally, financially structured differently than we are.
okay.
So
All right, I just think that if we're scattering, it should go into burial rights. It's
Yeah.
the only way we're really gonna benefit from offering scattering.
Right.
correct.
No, absolutely.
yeah.
So, there's that, so,
Do you think you can do it in-house, or would you have to bring somebody in to help design the actual burial space, or?
I can probably do it in-house.
How was Copeland Garden set up? Was that in-house or was that?
Therese did it, and, she has a master's degree in landscape architecture, but it's a pretty simple design. That stone wall was already there, because
Oh,
it was from
I
the
never knew
home
that.
that used to stand on the property.
Oh.
That circular stone wall was the impetus for having the circular garden.
Okay. I was wondering if that
Interesting.
wall was there.
That
or
was a
if
nice
built.
house.
I didn't know.
It
how
was,
I don't
it
know.
was the back
Yeah.
garden of that
Remember when it burned?
home in 1984.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big fire.
So it doesn't have to be circular, it can be square or rectangular, to whatever it is that will make the maximum use of that available space over there.
So we're talking about a few different things here, right? So,
We're talking about adding in-ground
Right.
cremation space, and we're talking about adding a scattering garden in the middle of that.
and then
But,
more scat.
and then I'm asking you to consider scattering at the pond,
Yeah.
around the pond.
I have to agree with Jimmy on
Yeah,
the scattering near the pond. There's this romantic view of scattering in water. And to your point, even in the ocean, if you do it according to the way it's supposed to be done, it's 3 miles out so that
I
it
know.
can disperse. But I think that you'll just have a lot of bone fragments sitting on the bottom of the pond, which
There's no
Not a-
movement.
It's not good.
and it's a
If you
deep,
read- if you
it's
read
not
it.
a deep pond. So the other part of it with the scattering gardens is that
okay.
you've seen them. They're designed in such a way that there's heavy kind of vegetation, so you can't see the bone fragments being scattered. I think
Right.
a lot of people
There's
look-
shrubbery and perennials and
Exactly.
rock,
Yeah, so that-
mulch.
I think, in my experience, a lot of families have even worked in. You had the same thing, Jim. People come back, oh, I never knew what it looked like. That was
Yeah.
disgusting.
Or-
and you're like, well, what
or
did you think it was?
He
you
was
know?
so heavy. Well, it's because it's not ash.
Yeah.
It is bone fragment.
Yeah.
That's all that remains after cremation is bone fragment.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we won't get technical, but the ash vaporizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right.
rest of the
Yeah, your flesh.
soft tissue stuff.
Yeah.
The bone doesn't
So-
break down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, I would have a concern about that too.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
just-
probably conservation issues as well, which you guys have alluded to. The Conservation Commission might have to get involved if you're talking
Yeah.
just not doing anything near wetlands.
Okay. Well, it was a romantic idea.
So,
No, it's
Was
worth, it's
attractive,
a worthy
I mean-
discussion.
right.
And I actually, on a different note, I called Father Bennett and I asked him, the church won't bless a scattering. And we talked about how many people are sitting in containers on mantles and then become improperly disposed of, and would they ever, I know this is totally out of our wheelhouse, but we talked about it, and he said it was a good question. He was going to talk to somebody else about it. You know, you're supposed to be buried whole somewhere and be ready for,
Yeah.
life everlasting. So, but I said, well, there are a lot of people who aren't being properly disposed of, and
I have some ideas around that when it's done.
you do, yeah. So anyway, so that's my
So were you gonna
my-
table the discussion then on the pond?
My-
Whether scattering
Yeah.
in or outside of the pond? We're gonna table that for now, or we're still?
sure, yeah. I
Well,
think
I-
those are valid.
Oh, go ahead,
I was going to say, I know Jimmy Jed and I are opposed to
Yeah.
using the pond.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the putting them in the water, but was there talk about scattering them outside of the water, around the
But
pond?
I think it's too hard to control.
Okay.
I think.
Good.
I
It's also
think.
wet around there.
Yeah.
Given the proximity, you don't know what people are going to do.
Right.
We're not going to encourage
Okay,
it.
great.
So let's not
We'll
tempt
just
people.
move from that.
Let's-
Not encouraging them to be near the pond. but
Yeah,
Hopefully
let's
keep them
not
away from the pond.
Tempt
Right.
people.
Got it.
Okay. And that's it for the superintendent's report.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
So the conversation with Father Bennett was about, like, some sort of blessing over a scattering garden, or what?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if So what got me going was, if you did a scattering at the pond, could we use that area in front of the receiving tomb, which looks like a chapel, as a place to do a memorial service, and then scatter? And that would be a nice, thing.
I think
A nice ceremony. But they, it has to be right now it has to be a non-religious, non-Catholic kind of thing.
I would argue that, although I think a lot of people default to tradition when they're faced with a need for ritual,
Yeah.
I also think that certainly other clergy would be willing to do it, and secular celebrants would be willing to do it. Not that it's the cemetery's job to engage clergy or celebrants, but
It's not.
for a funeral director to say, hey,
This is what we have,
Exactly.
what we can do.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think people would take advantage of it if
Yeah.
they found it to be
Yeah.
which I think it would be a beautiful space.
So
other
I-
cemeteries do it.
Yeah. So
Very-
that was my thought, was that using that building as a backdrop for a little service.
And I think that you could always use that for some kind of service with cremated remains when we want a service present, because people want to embrace the outdoors. They want to be outside, whether
Yeah.
you have tents in inclement weather.
So, yeah, I got to get the structural people in and get that structural report on the tomb and see if we can. I'd love to develop that idea
Yeah, that'd be great.
about putting a patio area in front of there instead of a roundabout, and making it into an area of
A welcoming
reflection.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could have other gatherings there as well.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So that's it for the superintendent's report.
I did have to grab a call. Did you mention the stone wall when I got up?
Not yet.
It's a new business, I think.
That's new business, yes.
The
That's
s-
what I would look at as new business.
So the stone wall, I got a huge. So when I went out there with the contractor, I went out with two contractors, and one of them is a company that fixed the stone wall over here outside the office when we had that little hurricane thing. They did a good job, so I called them in. He has not given me an estimate yet.
Who's that?
Ramos
Okay.
Landscaping, and Town Tree did come back. Of course, it has to be at prevailing wage,
Close, I see that.
so it's high. We walked along the wall with both contractors and, noticed other spots that are compromised. They look bad. They probably have had in-house repairs over the years. Now we know why, because it costs $150,000 to fix something. So I'm hoping that Solomon will take the challenge and be able to place some rocks in there. Somebody suggested asking Michael Papil, who's doing our wall.
I was
down
going to say
there.
this. I was just going to say, suggest him.
But I hesitate to ask him. He's having trouble getting the wall finished down there, and he's already given us a $150,000 wall for free.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a repair guy, and it's not a dry stone wall.
Gotcha.
I hate to.
Yeah,
It
it was a valid inquiry.
It was.
Where exactly is it?
It's down by Terry's house
Yeah.
on
How far
Center
down?
Street.
30 feet from my wall.
30
where my
feet from
property
where
is.
your property line is, okay. I've tried to
It's
look
just,
when I've been
it's
driving
just
down
past
the
that
street.
little opening where you can walk into the academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to remove the cap on the top of the wall, which is just cement,
Right.
and you'll have to break through on that and then fill the hole and then pour new cement.
Okay.
So, to me,
I'll take a look at it later
yeah.
today.
To me, it looks like something that we probably could try to fix in-house, and
Get a
like I
couple,
mentioned, there
get a
are
couple
other-
years out of it.
Yeah, there are other areas that need to be addressed also, and we should maybe come up with a plan for like 5 years down the road, a capital improvement.
A capital improvement, because that's what they're asking for, is capital improvements, 5-year protection.
Yeah, so I think that would be perfect.
I think we look at it in-house only because the proximity, Terry, is no one's really walking by it,
Right.
right? I mean, if it-
Well, everybody,
you
everybody
understand.
drives by it. and sees
They
it,
drive by it,
but nobody's touching it.
Right, exactly.
Nobody's going to get hurt.
Right.
That would be my thing, is safety.
Right,
Nobody's
it's
gonna
not
get
falling
hurt.
in on anybody at that corner.
No. So I think if you just patched it driving by, you probably wouldn't know the difference. Would that be a community preservation thing, maybe too?
I don't think it's a historic part of the wall. What might be a community preservation is, and I don't know if it will get approved, there's a lot of people tapping into community preservation. Now, what I heard from the committee was that, initially they had a lot of money. Now there's a lot of people asking for money.
We saw it at town meeting.
Yeah.
Well, they still have the same amount. They just have more people reaching out.
If
for it.
if you'll notice, we could maybe appeal to them by saying that portion of the wall, that 100 feet to the left of the main opening, is different from the portion to the right. The portion to the right of the main gate is large granite block,
Oh, right.
like large
Yeah,
Quincy
yeah.
granite block, and doesn't need any repair because
Right.
it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Occasionally one gets pushed out of place,
Right.
but we can push it right back in. The part to the left is kind of a rubble
Right.
wall that was created when that new section went in, and it's a very different look. And it's not as sturdy, and it will require maintenance over time.
Right.
So if we asked for community preservation funds to match the historic part, we might get that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big length wall, though, Lisa.
It is. It's very
That'd be a
big.
fortune.
Right.
So I'm wondering, I had another thought, that, we have these big granite blocks down back that the Susie Corporation donated because they're too big to crush.
Mm-hmm.
And they come across those periodically. I'm wondering if we can get more of those donated from different companies who are in the same circumstance, and then they can be feathered and wedged and cut into appropriate size,
Mm-hmm.
and then laid out by masons.
Right.
If we can get the stone donated, could we?
So that could happen. You need more work in downtown Boston
Yeah.
to generate those.
Yeah.
So like we generate thousands of them. And,
I know.
We break them up with a whole ram and crush them. But my wall in front of my house, the one up by the house, we brought in truckloads and just dumped them in my front yard. High Park Masonry set them. They didn't cut them or anything else. They just set them and put wedges in them.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even have to. Well, you could cut them, but to save money, you could just place them also. But that is a possibility. I mean, you probably would want to get somebody to lay it out, measure it, and figure out how many you would need, right? How many linear feet.
This guy is. Excuse me. There's
Sure.
a maintenance man here.
Okay. But yeah, they are available. They're semi in demand. Some people resell them. They're for landscaping in the city of Boston and in other places too. We had a guy looking for some up in Vermont for an amphitheater. He was going to use them for seating around. So they don't give them away like they used to, but I think you could find them if you got the word out.
So what happens, in their excavation, they come
So
across
they're old foundations in Boston.
Oh,
So when they're
okay.
when they're
Granite foundations, yeah.
So when they're doing
Okay.
especially underground parking garages like what we do,
Like these?
you run into. Hey,
Like my backyard?
where'd you get those?
A guy I know. That's what my whole thing was.
Right.
Yeah. So
I had
if we
two
can,
little slopes.
if we can get rock like that, maybe even if we can do it in 50-foot sections at a time.
Right.
They're beautiful. Those
No,
things
I
are
know.
never gonna go anywhere.
Right,
They've
and that
never moved in
and
my
that is
backyard.
the historic look.
And that would match the other side.
It would look
Right.
nice.
That would make sense because if we fix this,
We're gonna have to keep fixing
somebody's
it.
house is gonna
You have to keep fixing it. If you walk along there, you'll see there's a lot.
There's a lot. When you
patches.
drive on it, you see it.
Yeah.
Like when you drive, you'll see a piece of it is falling
The
out.
area that is closer to your house, that was hit at some point. We don't have any.
No.
We don't know who was responsible.
Or just
There's no
caved
police
in.
report.
Yeah, I
Or-
happened to notice it one day walking by. It looked like somebody must have hit it because there was like
hit it, plow. I mean,
Yeah.
there's all sorts
So-
of stuff.
There was
What-
like a mud mat or something from a car on the ground there too, or something. It looks like somebody might hit it.
So what happens here occasionally, closer to the office, is there are houses across the street on Center Street and Amazon trucks back
Yeah.
out of their driveways, and they're very big trucks.
Yeah.
And I think they bump up against the wall. They push those blocks in
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going to granite block is a better idea, you know, and we could get, you know, a local contractor, Susie or someone to give us pricing on setting those high bar masonry, which did my house. The
it's not a retaining wall. It doesn't require a giant footing or anything. It's just, yeah.
yeah, good.
They don't. They need nothing.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. Yeah,
And they're flat on one side because they're usually, you know,
Right.
they're foundation
Yeah.
blocks.
So, like right now, we have about 9 of them down back. I want to use those in the scattering garden to provide a perimeter around the scattering garden and places for people to sit. I don't really want a lot of benches. I want a very natural.
And we're all done with benches.
Yeah. Benches, yeah.
I like the stones to sit on. They're very nice.
For thought down the road, could those be engraved?
Well, they're not polished.
Could you?
Well, I don't know if they.
Let's
Where
put
do they
down the
have to?
road.
Where do they have to go to be sliced and polished on one side? To
Plymouth Quarries does that.
really?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. If they could be like polished on the front side and have names engraved. Yeah.
They got a machine to cut them.
Plus
Okay.
it's cost effective.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to table the wall for a period of time. See if they can do it internally.
No. I'm gonna talk to-
Well, internal
You're
house.
gonna
You're
talk
gonna
to my
solicit
guys.
additional bids.
Well, meaning, yeah, they're going to talk internal.
I'm going to solicit additional bids for capital improvement thing, and then we will. But I'll see if Solomon is game. He's the one guy on my team to.
And you'll talk to Susie or whoever, see if they have any blocks that they're looking to get rid of.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll talk to some people too.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just have to get the word out, but we have to decide if that's what we want to do.
But we
And
could
if it
even
is-
use them though for, like you said, for the
Right.
new
And if that is
scattering
what
garden.
we want to do, we have to decide where we're going to dump them, right? Because they'll be.
We can store them any number of places around here.
Right.
Really. You know, we can accumulate blocks.
Right.
We can put them around, and then when we have somebody to do the work, we can.
Yeah, you need a good sized lot for tractor trailers to get in and back up and dump. And so, like, we'd have to figure out how many we need, and a tractor trailer might carry like 20 or something. So we could, you know, do some rough math and figure out how many truckloads we need. And then when those trucks come in, there might be some dirt with them, there might be some concrete, there'll be some waste that, you know, we'll have to get rid of afterwards or find a place for it. Because then they're not gonna, it's gonna be a construction site where they're just getting the stuff out of there. They're not gonna try to keep them looking pretty for you or
Mm-hmm.
clean them off. You're gonna get what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanna make sure wherever we dump is an area that, where we can segregate the concrete and the asphalt, anything that gets in it, and then truck
Yeah.
that out at a later date. I know,
That's problematic.
yeah,
Disposal is very expensive.
you know.
Yeah, because when Susie brought those,
Yeah,
they were nice and clean. They,
right,
you know, he delivered,
right,
and that was a big favor. And he did it because Michael was building the wall.
right. Yeah, it is expensive. You're not gonna have that much, and it's like recycling facility. I think it's like $10 a yard to get rid of it or something. A tractor trailer might be 25 yards, so it's $250 plus. So it's $500 a truckload to get rid of it. But if it's $150,000 to replace the wall, we're getting the stuff for free, and it's just labor. Spending the money to get rid of the leftover concrete and asphalt
Might
may
be
not-
palatable.
Yeah,
Which is also partly what you're getting rid of for what you're digging up every time you dig a new grave, right?
that's more the clean fill that comes up.
That's
the
clean
other.
fill,
That's
and
clean.
we
Yeah.
store that on premises, and then we reuse it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a big machine come in and
We do.
separated everything? And
Yeah.
what do you do with that waste?
It screens out the smaller rocks,
Okay.
and then it goes offsite every
Okay.
couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we traded, you know, a lot of those smaller rocks. We traded. We
Correct.
Thomas, one of the landscaping companies came and took
Yeah.
that big pile
Yep.
because it was useful to them.
Good.
So
Yeah, no, the round
credit.
stone is expensive. You know, this,
yeah, it's
Haven't
New
take
England
that.
fieldstone, right?
yeah, it's like $100 a ton or something.
Yeah. So
Okay.
All right.
okay.
Anything else? Old business? Anything? All good?
Old business, simply CPA. Somebody mentioned it. What's the status of our project? I know, didn't that vendor drop out? But
So they had to drop out due to health issues, and we have signed up another the second bidder on there who's very qualified, and they start in the spring.
got it. Thank
They're
you.
under contract to start in the spring.
Thank you.
And what is that CPA project?
The headstone
The
restoration.
Stone
Thank you.
restoration. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure.
Any other old business? If not, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, everybody.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Time adjusted.
See you, Steve.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very
Thanks.
much, guys, and Lisa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care, Steve.
Adjourned.
Bye-bye.